Howdy folks, and welcome back to Home with a Gnome, where today I'm going to be making my own hot sauce, and for that I'm going to need a lot of chilies. And this is a lot of chilies. Now obviously the chilies that are going to be available to you will depend on what's in season. What I'm using are a bunch of Bulgarian carrot chilies, as you can see here, a metric arse ton of Serrano chilies, like these, and then just to add that little bit of extra kick, a couple of Scotch bonnets. First thing you're going to do with all of those peppers is remove the stems and then slice each pepper in half lengthways. It doesn't matter how cleanly you slice them because they're all going to go into the blender anyway. Next, you're going to dump all of those sliced chilies into a sealable jar, like a mason jar. Then we're going to take 1¼ quarts, or around about 1,150 millilitres of water, filtered preferably, as well as precisely 51 grams of fine salt. Whisk all that together until the salt is dissolved to create our brine, which is what we're going to be using to pickle or ferment all of those chilies. Then you're going to pour all of your brine into the mason jar, making sure that every single one of those chilies is fully submerged in the brine solution. Some are naturally going to want to float on top. If you have yourself something like a little ramekin bowl, that will be ideal for forcing the chilies down and ensuring that they stay under the level of the water. I didn't. So I've simply taken some freezer bags, scrunched them up, and that's done exactly the same thing. This is going to sit at room temperature for anything between 5 days and to 2 weeks. And then we'll move on to phase 2. And here we are, between 5 days and 2 weeks later. Actually, it was 9 days. As you can see, I've made a start on fermenting a second pot of chilies. This is going to taste probably a bit sweeter because I'm mostly using jalapenos in those. This is the first set, and yes, it does look very cloudy. Don't worry, that is perfectly fine. What's important is that you don't see any fuzzy edges around the chilies and the peppers, because that means they've gone moldy. The fact that they have not gone moldy means that I've got the right solution of salt and water to make the brine. And now we just have to add a few more ingredients and turn this into hot sauce. And the first of those extra ingredients that we're going to add is extremely finely sliced and toasted garlic. And here we go. You can see the garlic's just starting to toast. You could let it go for a little bit more than that, but yeah, this is fine. I've added the toasted garlic to the blending jug. Make sure you save the oil that you toasted the garlic in for later. And this jug, it measures about 750 millilitres, and to that we're adding 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, as well as 1 tablespoon of brine from the solution that you fermented the peppers in the first place. Next, we're going to give it a damn good thrashing in a blender. It's going to be quite chunky, don't worry about it. Keep blending it until it's about as smooth as you're going to get, until you add further ingredients. After the initial blend, it's going to look something like this. And yeah, you're right, that does not look like hot sauce. That looks like chunky chopped carrots. Well, now we're going to add the oil that you toasted the garlic in. I hope you didn't throw that away. And that's that done. And then it's back to the blender. Once again, we're going to thrash this in the blender to within an inch of its life until we finally end up with something that is hopefully going to taste like hot sauce. So what we have here is actually quite a chunky hot sauce. Now, depending on the amount of oil that you put in, you can strain it afterwards to make it a more fine hot sauce. But yes, this is we're just going to give this a go. Full disclosure, although this is the first time I've tasted it, I did smell it when I opened the blender, and it immediately made my eyes water. So, oh yeah. Well, here we go. Okay, I'm getting the garlic, and there are the peppers. But oh, there's the kick. Oh yeah. That's good stuff. That is very good stuff. Which is surprising. I mean, I was hoping it was going to be good, but this is the first time I've made hot sauce, so I didn't know. Oh yeah, you get the initial garlic, which you won't get if you don't put garlic in, obviously, or use garlic infused olive oil. And then you get the peppers, and the flavour is really, really good. And then right after that, you get the kick. which kind of, it stays on the tip of your tongue and at the back of your throat for a slow burn. I'm very happy with that. Of course, we'll be doing another batch. It's already making me sweat. Of course, I've got another batch on the go, which I expect to be not quite as hot, but a lot sweeter than this. Because the next thing that we are going to do is the Hot Ones Wings Challenge, where Ellie and I will be torturing ourselves with this, as well as all 10 of the Hot One sauces, which arrived from New York a couple of weeks ago. All that coming up soon. In the meantime, I'm going to call this a success. This is really good. Take care, folks. I'll catch you next time.